This is the Cardiff Business School podcast, where we explore the power of public value in everything that we do. My name is Peter Wells, and I'm the Pro Dean of Public Value and also the host of this podcast series. My guest today is Jagatheep Kumar. Jagatheep, welcome.
Thank you, Peter.
Jagatheep's currently an MBA student with us on a 12-month full-time course. He comes from India, and he's exactly the sort of student that we have been looking to recruit into our Public Value MBA. He's energetic, he's smart, he's articulate, he's passionate about many things, and he brings a joie de vivre, a sense of fun and energy and life, both to his work and to his everyday experiences here in Cardiff. So today we're going to explore the power of public value with Jagatheep and the MBA course. What were you doing in India before you came here?
First of all, thanks for that kind introduction, Peter. Prior to this, I was working as a regional sales manager for a software as a service firm. I was predominantly working with clients to streamline their businesses and boost their productivity through customized and tailored software solutions. I was getting pretty valuable experience from that. I was working with all sorts of people, especially from C-suite. And it was a really eye-opening experience for that. And prior to that, I was actually working as a business development executive for an FMCG firm based in Mumbai. And that's pretty much about my professional experience.
But you actually have a degree in production engineering, I believe.
Yes, I can explain about that actually.
Yes, good.
I am actually passionate about photography. I am a visual storyteller. I like telling stories through my photos and videos. I'm mostly into street photography. I try to find beauty in the most mundane things and the everyday things that surround us, and that's often overlooked. Like we don't find, and I try to find beauty in that sort of stuff. And that's
this is interesting. We have something in common here because I'm very enthusiastic photographer, and I really look out for those. Nice. But I always like to photograph the ugly things.
So I sort of started photographing people doing their everyday mundane tasks and try to find beauty in that. And that sort of led me to, meet and connect and interact with more people. And that sort of also inspired me to travel a lot. So I traveled across India, trying to, meet more people, learn new cultures, explore local cuisines. And that sort of drove me, and I honestly believe, and that's one of the main reasons why I decided to work in sales, even though I studied production engineering.
Right.
So
just sort of, it suited your personality more.
So.
I actually have a book at home called A Journey Through India, which is about the Hindustan ambassador, photographed in many locations across India.
That's awesome.
So yes, indeed, we share a passion in that area.
True.
And it's a big step coming here. How did your family feel about it?
My parents are, they never allow me to, go anywhere out of Coimbatore, my hometown, because since I was a single child and, they were always overprotective of me. But I always wanted to, live independently. So when I'm at home, I sort of always depend on them for everything, and I kind of become lazy. And I sort of wanted to get out of that,
Right.
So that's why I always used to find jobs far away from home, so that I can be as independent as much as I can. But so this was a very big step. My mother, she didn't approve of this when I initially told about the prospect of doing an MBA abroad. But eventually she came around and, she sort of understood I had this passion towards entrepreneurship and a desire to create something of my own. And she sort of understood that, and then she finally got convinced.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, this is your sales technique again, being good with people, including your mother. And you chose Cardiff. Was there any particular logic to that choice?
Yes. So while I was researching so once I decided to pursue my MBA, I started researching about business schools in UK, especially within the Russell Group of universities.
Right.
And actually, Cardiff Business School struck out because, they positioned themselves as a public value business school, and I was sort of intrigued by that. And I dug deep into what it actually meant, and what I found actually kind of resonated with me because I feel I am somewhat, a socially responsible person. But it also got me thinking, how, you can integrate business with public value, because I've never thought about it from that perspective.
Right.
So, and that's one of the reasons I decided to apply for Cardiff, and luckily I got through.
Luckily for us as well. But you're nearly at the end of the course now.
Yeah.
Do you think, looking back, that it's been as you expected in that sense? Has the public value content come over to you?
Definitely, actually, it's actually been an eye opener for me because before coming to Cardiff, like my whole idea of business was only about personal gain. Whenever I think about business, all I cared about was what sort of impact it has on me, to my personal gains, and how it would benefit my prospects. But I've never thought about it from a much wider perspective on how would it actually impact the society or the environment. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaway from this course, and that actually really gave this new perspective of thinking about, how you can integrate, these social values and public value into business, and, brings a positive change in society. And yeah, that's a major takeaway from this course. And yeah, I am actually very happy that that I actually took this course, because it has been an eye opener for me.
Yeah, well, I guess that is one of the major reasons why we've gone down this route.
Yeah.
I was struck myself by the sense of togetherness of the MBA cohort, and I wondered, where do you think that comes from? You seem very comfortable with each other.
I believe so most people who come to this MBA are at a very pivotal point at their careers. Either they are aspiring to become an entrepreneur, or they are looking for a career change. All the members of the cohort come with some sort of professional background experience, and they know, they have managed teams, they have worked with lots of people in their careers. So I think that sort of adds value to that. And I think the interview process itself, sort of adds to that point, because I remember, when I was interviewed, they sort of asked me, they were trying to explore more about me as a person,
Right.
what interest I have, what values I have, and they sort of try to analyze if that aligns with out of the business schools. So I think that's also a factor to be considered.
Yeah, interesting. I hadn't thought about that one. You've brought along a rather interesting object. I wonder if you might show us this creature, which is a sort of a stuffed toy. It's hard to say whether it's a cow, a pig, a kangaroo, or a donkey. But just in case, for the cameras as well, we're turning this way around.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this?
I guess, what this represents, this is to represent one of presentations that I gave in one of your lectures. And this also symbolizes and represents my time here in Cardiff Business School as an MBA candidate. So just to give you a little backstory, as you know, when you gave us the task to present about a product or a technology, I actually wanted to go with the most bizarre technology I could ever find, because you used to give us such, very rare topics like insect farming and stuff like that. So I thought it would be kind of funny to do that. But surprisingly, what started as a joke, kind of turned into a very valuable lesson to me. So the topic I chose was, cow flatulence collector.
Yes.
And I initially I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that people would rather go behind cows and collect its flatulence and belching, when there are far more concerning things. But the more research I did about that, it was kind of an eye opener for me, because the sort of effect that livestock and agriculture does on, that contribute to the climate crisis, I've never imagined it had such an impact towards the climate change.
Yes, well, I have to admit, Jags, it was a real eye-opener for me as well, in the way that you explored the topic. And it's really interesting, because it made it, it was funny, but it also made it come to life.
Yep.
In a very kind of simple way. It was a very simple piece of technology, this methane collector.
Yep.
But I liked the way that it conveyed the bigger message, and that was it was a lesson for me as much as for you, I think. So I hope to use it in the future in my own lectures.
Thank you, Peter.
And at the end of the day, after you've been with us, I think the important thing for us is that you take away some of the values that we've tried to bring to the course.
Yep.
And I wondered, having been here, how has it impacted upon your plans for the future? Has it made a difference? Or what do you think you're going to do
So as I said, like the reason I wanted to take this MBA was to start my entrepreneurial journey. I actually wanted to start an athleisure wear brand.
Leisure wear.
Leisure wear. It's an athleisure wear. It's a combination of athletic and leisure wear.
Okay.
So it can be used for active sports as well. At the same time, you can wear it as leisure wear as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole idea. After 7 months in this course, now I'm actually thinking about, rethinking my whole strategy about the athleisure wear brand. I'm still gonna create that brand, but I have a lot to think about because after coming here, I've learned a lot about, fashion industry is actually very notorious for the waste production and its unethical labor practices.
Yes.
And that sort of, I've realized so it would be a kind of a challenging journey for me to continue, but nevertheless, I would continue. But, I still have to make some, changes and modifications to that, especially in terms of, activewears or, they predominantly use non-renewable products such as nylon, polyester, polypropylene, and stuffs like that. There are companies like Patagonia and stuff who still use recycled nylon and polyester, but that's usually a trade-off for performance. Like you lose durability, stretchability of the fabric. So yeah, it sort of got me thinking. I think I have to find a right balance between the use of recycled materials and virgin materials in such a way it's safe for the environment as well. At the same time, it doesn't affect much profitability. So
this is always the challenge, and of course, this is the torch that you have to carry into the future. In that sense, you imagine that you would establish this in India.
Yes, I wanted to start this brand in India because, especially, I think this is majorly because of my hometown.
Right.
So Coimbatore is actually nicknamed as the Manchester of South India, predominantly because
they have two large football teams.
No, it's because of the cotton fields, the abundance of cotton fields, and it's a major textile hub. So you get a lot of suppliers, and even mainstream brands. They do outsource all their products to be manufactured in Coimbatore and the surrounding areas. So I also believe there is a big gap in the market in India. So the mainstream brands who currently operate in India, they do produce aesthetically good activewear, but so there are certain sort of technicalities to activewear itself, that could actually help you perform well in certain sports, and it helps you in recovery as well. And I don't think there are a lot of brands actually going for that. So predominantly they go for dresses that are actually visually appealing, but rather focusing on the functionality. Functionality is not so great, and I believe there's a gap in the market, and I sort of trying to tap that.
Yes, well, funnily enough, a couple of my daughters are quite keen on climbing. Yeah, they do a lot of this indoor climbing, bouldering as it's called.
Oh, yeah.
So then. And again, there's specialist clothing. I never imagined. But for example, they had especially stretchy knees on the trousers because they have to do so much kind of bending as they go up and down that. You would never have thought it, would you? Yeah. But I think increasingly many items of clothing are like that. And obviously they are combining the technical performance with the sustainability performance and the social awareness is going to be key. So we wish you luck.
Thank you.
Well, obviously, we hope you finish your MBA first.
Hopefully.
But you're doing very well on that side, but no worries. And yes, we wish you luck. And hopefully we'll hear again from you in the future as a successful entrepreneur.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you. This has been the Cardiff Business School podcast, where we've explored the power of public value in the MBA course with Jagatheep Kumar. Jagatheep has been telling us about his experiences on the MBA course, the reasons why he joined us in particular, and what he hopes to do with it in the subsequent events to come. Hopefully, we'll hear from Jagatheep years down the line when he's become the successful entrepreneur that he really deserves to be. Thank you very much.